Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I'll keep saying it probably to my grave, or at least until things get better. The Western left has a major radicalism problem, and honestly, I would even take it a step further. The Western left, which of course by extension, by proxy, the Democrat Party, has a massive terrorism problem. And I'm the crazy, wacky, kooky person on the internet who's been sounding the alarm for years, mostly to no avail, as it appears for the most part the mainstream media and popular culture really isn't interested. But once again, it's real and it's a monster that continues to reveal itself. And for years the left has tried to pass this off, or rather dress it up as simple criticism. People are simply engaging in free speech and anti-war activism, or anti-fascist resistance. But at this point, to actually believe that, you have to be living under a Patrick Star rock. It's not just about dissent or opinion anymore. This is a growing cancer of anti-American hatred that is radicalizing people and turning them against their own country, turning them against the West, and most pressingly, inspiring real-world harm and terrorism. And now once again, we're making a link, as it appears. An individual who was recently arrested for committing a literal terror attack, a firebombing on a drone facility in Czechia. Well, it appears this individual has now been exposed as a massive Hasan Piker fan. Folks, the monster is showing its teeth, and once again, the road leads directly to Hasan Piker, who pretends to be some harmless edgelord. Oh, he's just a regular guy with hot takes. But clearly that isn't the case. He is an agent of radicalism. He is patient zero for a radicalism epidemic that is getting worse and worse by the day. And it's an epidemic that the left refuses to acknowledge, that the mainstream media chooses to ignore. No, instead, they keep trying to build up and promote the celebrity status of Hasan Piker, when realistically, I think at this point, Hasan Piker probably belongs more in Guantanamo Bay than he does on the cover of a frickin' magazine. Let me show you guys what happened, and of course, let's have a conversation of the larger phenomenon at hand here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so it appears Hasan Piker's initial prediction is really coming to fruition here.
He did it because of Hasan, and obviously that doesn't really work for anybody, even if like someone who has done an act of terror literally will be like, I love Ben Shapiro and I did this because of Ben Shapiro. But I could totally see it sticking for something like this upcoming year, you know what I mean? Where, they'll be like, this guy was a Hasanabi head, and then they'll just like push it nonstop. They'll spam it endlessly to a degree where like I'll have to address it in like mainstream news,
He attempts to frame the narrative as if this kind of thing could happen to anyone. One day it'll happen with Ben Shapiro, and then of course it'll happen with me. But I gotta tell you, I've been in this business for a while now. I highly doubt any terror attack will ever be linked to my channel or my online influence. It's not a phenomenon that affects all of us. And clearly he was attempting to get ahead of this thing because he knew exactly the type of rhetoric that he was peddling in, as if it's just a regular occurrence and one day it'll be pinned on him. But we should all dismiss it because of course you could find that link with anyone, but that's obviously not the case. And now here we are, another violent terror attack linked to Hasan Piker. An individual by the name of Youssef Morsi was just arrested on terrorism charges after he allegedly firebombed a drone factory near Prague. The individual in question claimed that they were producing Israeli weapons. In reality, the facility was tied to drones for Ukraine. He's now facing 25 years to life. Notice how earlier I said another. Well, for those of you guys who haven't been paying attention to this kind of stuff, two individuals, Austin Blair and Jarrett Mackey, were charged with 11 counts of making terrorist threats after calling an active shooter in bomb threats. Both of those individuals, as well as the Youssef Morsi individual, all have one thing in common. They're all following Hasan Piker on social media. In fact, one of the individuals involved in making terrorist threats is even pictured here spending time with Hasan Piker on his stream. And of course, we could dismiss it all. Don't jump to conclusions. We can't make any connections. We could apply the Hasan Piker standard and assume that any culpability through the link here is just political weaponization. Oh, it's a right-wing conspiracy. But to actually believe that, you'd have to be analyzing these cases in an information vacuum. You'd have to ignore this.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
You'd also have to ignore this.
You support terrorism, question mark? No, I don't. I don't support the state of Israel, and I don't support the state of the United States of America.
Oh, and let's not forget when he suggested that the Houthis Houthis were essentially doing what Monkey D. Luffy was doing in One Piece.
Dude, we think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
I mean, what the actual F? You know, at some point, the rhetoric crosses a line. At some point, it goes from criticism to incitement of violence and incitement of terrorism. There's being critical of American foreign policy, and then there's being just overtly anti-American. And that's exactly who and what Hasan Piker is. He's a subversive anti-American force. And you could tell instantly by simply tuning into his live stream on Twitch. Look at the title of his latest stream, quote, "Trump is begging." By all accounts, it's war against the Iranian regime, the largest state sponsor of terror on earth. And this guy undeniably is rooting for the enemy. You know, I get not liking war, disagreeing with the premise possibly, thinking it's bad foreign policy, but to actively root for the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world, it's on a whole other level. And that is exactly what this guy is doing. He's not some anti-war ideologue as he pretends. No, not at all, because very clearly he loves it when terror states are waging war against American targets. The Houthis, as he described it, are one-piece revolutionaries. He's fully willing to issue statements of support to China, Iran, Hamas. He seems to support the Houthis, Hezbollah. But when America gets involved, and usually the cause is righteous, suddenly it's evil American imperialism. And he takes it to a disgusting level of anti-Americanism. I mean, just look at this clip.
Iran put out a footage of a F-35 being hit. No shot. Oh my God, American empire is so over. It's not even funny. There's no way this is real, right? Unbelievably bad if the F-35 is actually taken out by Iranian anti-air missiles. It shows two things. Number one, Iran still has denial capabilities and they're very successfully utilizing it. Number two, the American air superiority is busted and dusted.
That was Hasan being met with the fake Iranian claim that they had downed an F-35 jet. They actually missed the jet and the pilot was forced to make an emergency landing. But look at this clown celebrating. He's celebrating potential harm inflicted on U.S. soldiers and U.S. assets. And honestly, at this moment, I might as well loop in the clip that we played yesterday from Philadelphia. This is the modern left Hassanabi tribe.
Until we have done everything in our power to bring the United States to its knees, let us not lose sight of the enemy. For every U.S. military base that crumbles, and for every U.S. soldier who returns home in a casket, we cheer!
It's no longer edgy and cool, contrarian worldviews. It's anti-American subversion and alignment with terrorist organizations abroad. And this is what is rising on the left thanks to people like Hasan. We have a terrorism problem that is growing, that is festering. It's a malignant tumor and it's spreading across the body, and nobody seems to care. This is the most influential grassroots left-wing character on the internet. This is who young people on the left are looking up to. Not to mention the environment. Charlie Kirk was just murdered. ICE agents were just ambushed in Texas, actually twice. One actual sniper ambush and another attempted armed ambush. Not to mention the plethora of attacks and threats. And we simply cannot continue forward pretending as if this is all part of normal political discourse. It is not. There's something going on here. There's a sinister agenda at play, and I just don't get why nobody seems to care. How many more terror attacks must we suffer? How many more Charlie Kirks is it going to take until people wake up?